And that's the trouble with respectability, is that the bouncer keeps changing the dress code. Today, the married, professional, church-going gay man may be welcomed as evidence that gay people are, quote unquote, just like everybody else. But tomorrow, the same people applauding his marriage may decide that his family is still unacceptable. Meanwhile, transgender people, gender nonconforming people, unmarried people, poor people, sex workers, non monogamous people, and anybody unwilling or unable to perform normalcy are left standing outside. That is not liberation, that is probation. Respectability politics always creates the fantasy that oppression can be negotiated individually. Perhaps they will leave me alone if I make it clear that I'm not like these other people. Black people know this bargain. Women know this bargain. Immigrants know this bargain. Gay, queer, and transgender people know this bargain. You become the exception they temporarily tolerate while the larger system remains untouched. Matthew Vines does not have to call himself queer, but we must question what happens when the rejection of queer identity becomes a strategy for regaining conservative approval. Are transgender people supposed to become quieter? Are non-binary people supposed to become less complicated? Are queer artists supposed to become less provocative? And are young people supposed to return to language that does not fully accurately describe their lives? Are people in non-traditional relationships supposed to disappear until heterosexual America, many of which are in non-traditional relationships, feels more comfortable with them? Are the most vulnerable members of our society supposed to remain behind so the most respectable can cross the political checkpoint? That is not solidarity, and that's not going to get us anywhere. That is an evacuation plan with a very, very selective passenger list. So those Gallup poll numbers that I was talking about earlier should definitely sober us. Progress is not permanent, and rights do not protect themselves. But the answer cannot be to divide the community into acceptable and unacceptable identities. We defend marriage equality because families deserve legal security. We defend transgender people because bodily autonomy and public participation cannot belong only to the socially comfortable. We defend gay, lesbian, bisexual, queer, and gender expansive people because nobody should have to audition for citizenship by appearing harmless. Call yourself gay, call yourself queer, call yourself both if you want. Use the language that tells the truth about your life. I grew up gay. I grew into queer. Both words belong to me now.